The owner of one restaurant really wanted to get rich on it, but he was hampered by competitors. "We need to come up with something new," the owner was agonizing. "Because everyone has the same thing around them, the kitchen, the waiters, live music." And suddenly it dawned on him. "And let me have dead music. No one has ever had this before. People will come running, money will flow." Then he got even more excited. "And everything can be arranged stylishly in the restaurant. For example, tables should be covered with black tablecloths. On the one hand, it matches the music. On the other hand, the spots are not visible, savings are obtained." And so he did. What he didn't know was that you can't play dead music. The live music in the restaurant makes people feel better and they spend more money on food. And from the dead one? So everything went wrong. As soon as it started playing, the man at the table choked. He got the menu down the wrong throat. He fell, turned blue, and died. Or he died, and then turned blue. Somehow they didn't keep track of it. An ambulance arrived to help quickly get rid of the corpse. They loaded it up and drove away. And on the way, they got into an accident and everyone was crushed to death. The medics with stretchers also heard dead music while they were walking through the hall, and it reached the driver through the door that opened. And the man, by the way, managed to order huge amounts of delicacies. And I've tried everything, which is a shame. You can't return it to the cook. The waiter, who did not have time to receive payment from him, went to the toilet and committed suicide. And another man, who was not very drunk yet and therefore tactful, waited for a long time in front of a booth occupied by a waiter, suffered a bladder rupture and died of infection. True, in 2 days and in the operating room, but still. And the waitress with the tray stumbled and ruined her life. To be honest, she would have broken it anyway, but not so soon. The dead music just pushed her. And the chief accountant of the restaurant was suddenly visited by the tax office, and his heart stopped. That's how they buried him later. He was lying there, but his heart wasn't beating. By the way, the inspection didn't work out without a chief accountant either. The inspectors got stuck in the restaurant's financial statements. Absolutely. And the chef spilled oil on the stove and burst into flames. But it was extinguished, although not immediately, with boiling water from a large saucepan. That's the kind of nonsense that came out. Not fish, not meat. Meanwhile, 3 more people died in the hall. At different tables. They were poisoned by something. One of them, however, realized that something was wrong, stuck his finger in his throat, and vomited in front of everyone. But he died too. Out of shame. But the doorman, bowing, could not hold the door, and she cut off his head. And when he fell down, she cut him in half. There was a good spring there. And the second ambulance, having arrived, drove into the window, and everyone in it was hit by glass. And some people even suffocated from the leaking gasoline. And one rich old man said that now he had nothing to live for, so he immediately bequeathed all his savings to the waiter who served him. And the other waiters overheard it, and the lucky guy was strangled in the pantry. But then the gasoline fumes crept up to them. And in the kitchen, they began to vote for a new chef, got into a fight and dealt each other a lot of blows incompatible with life, using cutting and stabbing objects. And the cloakroom attendant tried to call a new ambulance, but the operator told her that they couldn't get enough help, after which he hung up on the phone. He could hear dead music from the tube. and the dead music kept playing, like the orchestra on the Titanic. But the outrages in the restaurant could still be stopped. It was only necessary to get rid of the dead music. However, only the owner of the restaurant could do this, and he, celebrating the innovation, drank himself to death and never recovered. So business in the restaurant fell into complete disrepair, and an indefinite off-season began in it.